Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22, and it is time for our MotoGP winter testing right here in the Malaysia circuit of Sepang. Now, I've been really looking forward to this. I played a lot of MotoGP 22 for the Moto2 career mode recently, and now we are finally doing the MotoGP part of career mode. I have a few sort of reservations about this season, and kind of why I've been putting it off, because I'm a little bit concerned with how competitive the AI is going to be. Now, the AI in MotoGP 22 sometimes can be really competitive, and then some tracks it's really not. And the one thing I notice more than anything is the starts of MotoGP races is where the AI really struggles. So for the season, I'm thinking possibly looking into maybe only doing power setting 1, or perhaps only power setting 2. Although I do know the AI gets stronger towards the end of Grand Prix, so then we could consider using power setting 3 at the latter stages of the Grand Prix. Let me know what you guys think of that, and we'll have a discussion in the comments section down below. But getting back to winter testing, this is our first lap on board the LCR Honda. For the very first time, I'm using a Honda in MotoGP career mode. I'm very excited for the opportunity to be with Honda for this season. I don't think many of you are expecting the Honda, so I thought I'd change things up. And I quite like the way it looks, and I think it's growing on me with the way the colours of the helmet, the bike, and the suit and the boots and knee sliders all seem to match. Fun fact, I actually forgot to change my rider's book patch from the colour pink to yellow. The pink really doesn't fit well with the red there, and you can hardly see it, so... But yes, I digress about that for now. First lap on board the Honda. Across the line we will go, and it is a 1:59.134. Good enough for the top spot at the moment in time, but I'm pretty certain that won't be lasting for too long. Now, with the 3 packs we have available today, I'm looking at pack 1, as you can see. Pack 1 is a focus on fuel consumption reduction, but with less power. So we're going to get a better performing bike in the sense of longevity with fuel, but it is going to be a little bit more sluggish, and it's going to require a lot of power to really get some good lap times in. So that's something to work upon with pack setting number 1. But with the first pack option, we also get better reactivity with the Honda. So the Honda is going to be quite nimble, and I got to be honest, it does feel pretty decent. I've been playing with the Honda a little bit just to get a sensation with it, and I must say it does feel okay. Now, it's not as comfortable as the other bikes I've tried in the past, such as the Yamaha, the Ducatis, and the Suzuki being absolutely brilliant in this game as well. But I actually really enjoy using the KTM. I was going to pick the KTM, I really was, but I just thought I'd give the Honda a try. I only just picked my decision by a small amount, so it would have been KTM, but this time it's the LCR Castrol Honda. I guess channeling my inner Cal Crutchlow to try and win some races this season within MotoGP 22 on board the LCR Honda. Now, something I didn't mention, or maybe I did or didn't, I don't recall now, but this bike does feature a less in the sense of tyre consumption, which is odd really, because the tyres will be consumed quite quickly, although we have less power upon the acceleration, so I should imagine that would balance itself out quite nicely. Not entirely sure how that's going to work, but yeah, bear that in mind for the rest of the season if we do choose pack number 1. Bear in mind we do have 2 more packs to choose from, and I'm not going to make my decision this quickly at this stage of the winter testing. Now, something I'm trying to do, but I don't know whether it's more of a hindrance rather than a benefit. Now, the ride height device is something that I wasn't particularly fond of when I came into MotoGP 22. It didn't resonate well with me at all. I didn't really care for it. It's a simple button press that I didn't really feel gave much of a competition advantage or edge. Although, the more I use it, the more I feel compelled to do so. Now, we've done 2 seasons already with MotoGP, Moto3, sorry, not Moto2, and now into MotoGP for the 3rd, and we haven't used ride height device, so I'm kind of compelled to make the most out of it and try and use it as much as the riders do in real life. It's there, isn't it? It's there to be used. Why not use it? It's part of the experience of playing MotoGP. Why not? But I'm not all for it though, to be honest with you. But so I'm a little bit mixed on that one. I think I still will use it, but there is going to be a few times that I'll probably just not use it at all. So we'll see how that goes on, but I'm quite excited to get a few new things for our MotoGP career mode. Now, of course, there is no heart rate monitor for this video, but don't fear, the rest of the videos will have the heart rate monitor. I always like to see what my own heart rate is in those intense battles during the commentary. Now, we have been dethroned from the top spot from Fabio and world champion Pecco Bagnaia. Not concerned about that in the slightest. We are using power setting 3, so it is a good indication of how competitive we are against the AI as we now bring on the power. Now, I'm just looking at the bottom right corner of the screen there. The fuel is significantly low now. We may not even get across the line. I've dropped it down to power setting 1, but I don't think we'll be improving this lap any longer, and I really don't think the fuel is going to last that long, so this lap could be done and dusted. Now, a final lap with pack 1 is going to be a little bit disappointing, but we will... Oh, there it is. It died. So let's move over to pack number 2 and see how this one feels. So the synopsis for pack 2 is it's a more balanced version than the first pack, although we do go wide into turn 1, making a bit of a hash of that first corner. The braking was a little bit different, or at least probably me just not paying attention and braking a little bit too late. But as I mentioned, this is a more balanced pack now with no real focus on either. If you were to picture the gauges and the bars, it was just perfectly aligned, 50% for everything. So there's not really any benefit, but there's also not really a caveat either, as Fabio Quartararo attains his first crash of the season. Is that going to be a crash fest for him in this particular virtual video game season? So regarding the package on pack 2, I don't really like these sort of packages where it's just completely middle. The more I played this game, I kind of prefer one or the other. Either go all out with power or go all out with some reduction, for example. So I don't think this one's going to be for me, but we'll see. Why not? We've got to give it a try. I'm still running the same settings for everything, the same electronics and the same tyre combination, as well as Joan Mir on board Suzuki has now just crashed, as we actually been dropped down to about 8th position for this moment in time. Still 100 minutes remaining of this particular session, so there's absolutely no worries or concerns at this point. And really, the big point about these testing sessions for everyone, and definitely for me, is not necessarily the lap time. It doesn't matter what lap time we put in, if we get the fastest or the slowest. It's just all about the feeling and the consistency. Can we be consistent and can we be within there? And I guess that's kind of contradictory. Oh my goodness, who was that on the floor then? Someone was down on the floor there, but I was a little bit contradicted, because I'm going to mention that, of course, if you did qualify last, or at least finish the session last as Quartararo gets his second crash of the session, I guess that is quite demoralising, and you won't be going into the next season with confidence. But majority of the time with the game, it's not really that important, because the AI don't offer that particularly tough of a fight. But the first lap with package 2, which will be our 4th lap of the session, puts us right there into the top 3. Just less than a 0.2 of a second behind Quartararo. 0.4 of a second behind Aleix Espargaro is leading the way with a 1:58.307, and more importantly, ahead of factory Honda rider Marc Marquez. Now, we're not just any factory Honda rider, it's Marc Marquez, the 8-time world champion, and we are currently 45,000th of a second ahead of our almost teammates. I guess it's the same manufacturer teammate, but it's not quite the team within our LCR construction. So now into the right hand side, we're up by 1/10.5 there, as I'm going to try and angle the motorcycle into turn 8, a little bit eager upon the acceleration and then on the upshift. I found that I was upshifting a little bit too late there, so there was quite a lot of power going into the second gear. Probably should increase the upshift a little bit quicker rather than later next time around. Good to see Johan Zarco there in the top 5. Cast your minds back to my MotoGP 21 career mode. Johan Zarco was absolutely fantastic. No end of battles with the Frenchman. So many battles with the number 5, who is currently in number 5 position. And I can't wait to see if it's going to be him, Quartararo, maybe Aleix Espargaro, maybe Marquez, maybe Joan Mir, Bagnaia, who don't know, it could be anyone. But I'm really curious to see who we're going to be battling with within the championship this season. Now, I'm going to be trying to focus on this one relatively a lot. I'm really enjoying MotoGP 22, and I really enjoy commentating the races for these career mode races and even the other sessions we've had. So I'm really probably going to be focusing on this one and possibly getting a second season done before the next MotoGP game, which will be coming whenever. So to start lap 3, a little bit wide into the first corner, but it's a 1:59.134 as we've just had our first crash on the Honda. Oh, it's happened already. So unfortunately, package 2, done and dusted for now then. It's gone kaput, as the team will have to repair that one. Not really, but let's pretend. Let's get immersed in the moment. So now on to package number 3 on board our Honda RC213V. This one is more my style, something I'm more interested in using, and it's very reminiscent of what we used for Superbike 22 on board the Kawasaki ZX-10RR, and that is a bike that's all about increased power. Yes, it does have the caveat of having a increased power loss, but I like the idea of having more power. This is MotoGP, the pinnacle of motorcycle racing. Of course I want the bike with more and more power. Not asked what the caveat is. If the caveat's going to be that we are going to unfortunately lose a lot of fuel during the Grand Prix, then so be it. As long as we have maximum power for the Honda, I'm pretty happy. It's very similar to what they actually do in real life. A lot of power for the Honda and not a nice bike to ride, as it launched Marquez twice over the handlebars over the couple of years. In fact, there's a lot more times than 2. I think 2 times from Marquez's high sides is a bit of an understatement. But back to the package and back to its pros and cons. Better tyre consumption, which is very, very strange, and it's very contradictory. If we have a bike that is full power, I expect the tyres to degrade quickly. So if they are saying that this is a better consumption reduction, then I should imagine that it's going to just balance itself out, like we mentioned earlier with the first pack. So yeah, it is what it is on that regard. I don't really know what to take away from it, but everyone breaks dead early there as Aleix Espargaro has gone down into the final corner. That has absolutely flummoxed our chance of a decent qualifying lap time there, or excuse me, a decent testing lap, but it's still going to be a pretty solid lap nonetheless. But it is what it is that this lap has been completely scrubbed off. Now the Honda for this third package does have a decreased reactivity, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really feel it. The power of the Honda, yeah, it's significant. Feels a lot quicker, feels a lot more punchier, let's say. But at the same time, I don't really feel any less reactivity or any sort of movement upon the bike. It's quite stable. So for the third package option, I'm pretty much already convinced that this one's going to be the package I want to use. And I guess it's indicative with the lap times we're doing right now. We're already 0.5 of a second quicker into the first split, and I just feel really, really comfortable, really solid. The power of the Honda feels reminiscent to what I've been using in the main game with a already upgraded Honda. I'm pretty much convinced that this should be a good decision. Let me know what you guys choose. Do you go for a specific preferred flavour of setting, such as higher reactivity, maybe a bike that focuses on tyre consumption reduction? Or you like me, just go all out, balls to the wall power, full on power. That's what we like to see. I mean, it's MotoGP, isn't it? We love power, so that's pretty much the reason that I am really keen to use this particular version of the RC213V Honda. But now into the left hand side for turn 12, yeah, getting very close to the apex there, reminded me of making the move on Somcat Chantra that we did a couple of weeks ago, but now 7.5 tenths of a second. Not the best entry into 14th corner there. I think we lost a significant amount of time for a poor entry. Perhaps that's where the reactivity is coming in. I didn't really feel that confident upon the brakes for that particular time, but it could just be a bit of rust from racing other games recently. But wide into the final corner is not going to get the job done. But as we bring on the power, this will be our fastest lap of the weekend, and across the line it puts us still into third position, but we reduce the gap to second by 59,000th of a second. We're 0.3 of a second behind Aleix Espargaro, but he went down earlier on, so in fact he's actually already back up and running. Don't know where he is on track. He's completing his first split, but it's not evident whereabouts he is on the circuit. So for now, just keep on pushing and we're focused on our own lap time. So 0.3 of a second up into the first split. That is comparing to Aleix Espargaro's first split, and then into the right hand side for turn 4. We've seen a monumental crash there a couple of days ago in our Sepang Grand Prix here in Malaysia for Moto 2. It was a very scary moment where Augusto Fernandez and Bo Benschneider had a bit of a coming together, but now I watch the clip back, I don't even know if they had a coming together. I think they just both crashed at that moment. Benschneider was sort of put out and couldn't really do much anyway, so I guess it was going to be inevitable that both of them were going to crash. But to the left-hand side of my screen, I'm very curious to see all those red sectors. What is it going to turn into? What is it going to materialise into when all of those red sectors come to fruition? Aleix Espargaro is into the third split. He is at least approaching the end of the third split. Quartararo in second should have completed the third split by now, and I think he has, but it is a grey sector time. But for us now, we can actually see Aleix Espargaro in the distance. It's pretty far away, but I'm curious to see what he is going to do. But we are setting some very fast lap times with the third package option, and you know what, guys? I think I've made my decision. I'm really happy to choose the third package. I just think it's going to be the one for us to use this season. To the left-hand side there is Jorge Martin braking quite early for turn 15, but across into the final corner, Espargaro will get across the line. He may or may not improve, but we should be setting a lap time now to set us right at the top of the picture. To end winter testing, top of the pile. Oh, and the bike has died once again. So guys and girls, that is it. That is the end of our winter testing session. As you can see with the breakdown on the screen, package number 3 and 2 quite in tandem with our fastest lap time, or at least the sectors times. It is a 3-2-2-3. So package 3, package 2 is a great decision to choose from. But ultimately for me, I'm happy to go for package number 3 on board the LCR Honda. So guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Consider becoming a member by hitting the join button on the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment and subscribe, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.